just a coffee break from eternity. So I know this is deep, but what I'm getting at here is very simple, Kevin. There are other reasons why we don't know. Okay. Some can handle it, some can't.
Okay, so if all time's happening at once, so past and future lives are happening now, right? And present moment is really all we've got. The rest is an illusion, right?
Right.
Why is that then? When you say that time travel is the real agenda here, not that we've been visited or there's other technology out there. Why do you still say that time travel is the real agenda here, though?
Well, time travel is the cover-up, because sitting at this table, which I will explain maybe further later, I was tricked into it by the head of the black projects for the Air Force. And I can mention his name, he probably wouldn't mind, but I won't. And I was sitting at this table with Dalai Lama's representatives, with military representatives, with scientific representatives, and the man that was heading this up, he wanted to release time travel to the universities. And he makes all the transformers for the Philadelphia experiment. His name's Mr. Beckworth. He's passed about 4 years ago. And we're sitting at this table, and I'm tricked into the head of the table, and I say, what the hell is going on? Why am I here? So the colonel from the black says, just sit, Phil, and answer these guys' questions, you know. Well, I never realized it, but I knew their questions before they answered it. I don't know if I was mind reading or just up on the what they were going to ask because of the way it was presented. So it goes around the table. Should they reveal Mr. Beckworth's time travel machine to the universities to study? Should they make it public, in other words? And everybody voted on it, and they wanted to know what I thought about it. And I said, well, it's very simple. I work on aircraft. They go from point A to point B. No questions asked. But in time travel, you have to have a benevolent reason to go from point A to B. Otherwise, you bring back excessive baggage. The Dalai Lama's representative stood up and he says, I told you military people that. They're having problems. That's what the meeting is about. Now, I won't go into the problems because it's probably too mental to understand for most of us. I quite don't even understand it. But that was the synopsis. Then we get up and we all go into another room and watch the time travel machine disappear. My father said that the Air Force did this with revolving fields, the same as the Aldridge had during the Philadelphia experiment, and 2 of the airplanes winked out of existence, so they quit doing it. We have had time travel for a long, long time, our submarines and such. I don't want to get into too many things, though, that are hard to believe, but the Earth and our society is not what most people think it is.
But obviously, you know, there'll be people watching this that will be like, well, that's unprovable, what he's saying there. There's no proof whatsoever.
I understand.
And how do you prove that he says he saw it, he seems like a nice guy, but as some of these researchers like Richard Dolan would say, without the proof, we can't, you know, there's nothing to move, there's nothing to grab at.
Well, there's no proof to God.
No, and most people in this world believe in a form of it.
Right.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I can't answer that.
No, but I'm just...
The smoking gun.
This is what
everyone is looking for it.
This is what people are thinking that are watching this right now. So, if you can change the future or past, you could do a lot of damage with that.
If you only knew when you were going to die, you would do a lot of damage with that, with your own self. Because you would be doing things, you would be risking your life, doing things that are changing your life.
Where did Mr. Beck, whoever this person is, get the technology for time travel from?
He developed it with the military during the war. And during the war, you know, the Battle of the Atlantic, the war was being lost from the U-boats, the packs. So the Germans had a mine that was magnetic, and it would have ships pass over, come up in the middle, and blow several ships up. My dad and others Einstein, my dad went to Einstein during this time of Eisenhower, when he was with Eisenhower, and said, can we do anything about this? Eisenhower says, not Eisenhower, Einstein says we can move it through time and space 500 yards or whatever it was. I'm just using that 500 yards. I don't know how far it is. So they came up with the Philadelphia experiment. There really was such a thing, that the ship did move from Newport News to Port Richey, and there was deaths involved and such, but they did perfect it. And it was not invisibility. I had the reports, and they were taken from me. And from my father. We had to hide all of his notes for the first 5 years because we were being infiltrated by the cover-up services. And this ship would actually be able to move the mines 500 yards through time and space. Highly developed, which is time travel.
With the ship,
the All-Rich.
Would the ship move with the mine, or the mine would be moved by the ship's technology?
The mines would be moved by the ship's technology, and it wasn't just one ship. We had highly developed it after that. 2 revolving fields of the Earth's frequency, which is 8-point-something megs.
But what about all those sailors that were on that ship that knew of this?
There was an accident in the beginning. It was perfecting it.
How many